2. I'm so excited. We're going to build the back end for our Lex bot. We're going to build it in Lex. We're going to go to the command line so you can see how you can do it there as well. So no matter what you want, whether you want to do the console or you want to do the command line, we're going to try to cover that. Hopefully we will have enough time. If not, no worries. Guess what? I'm going to put everything out on the GitHub repo and we will share that with you at the end of this session. So I'm ready to get started. Are you guys ready to get started? So let's see who is on the channel. Hope you guys are totally joining me on this channel. And if you have any questions, let me do this. Let me do the housekeeping stuff first. Please don't forget to ask in the chat bot, the chat window, the channel. Nikki will be there. She will absolutely be able to answer any questions you have. So if you have any questions out there, hey, I'm with you. Boss Hog, we're ready to go. Let's go. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we talked about going into the console. Let's do that. Boss Hog said he's ready to go. We're ready to go. So let's switch over here to the console. All right. So you guys should hopefully see my screen now. We are in the console. Hooray. If you don't know how to get there, don't worry. There's lots of instructions. Go to the console, log in. I love the little search thing we have now. I can just type in Lex. It's right there. You're ready. Now, you may not see all these bots because obviously I have a good time playing with bots. Hopefully that's big enough for you guys to see because we're going to get started. Now, we're going to make the back end, the plumbing for our bot, the bot that we're going to run in ASP.NET Core and on the web and deploy it to EC2. And the way to do that, the framework for AWS to do that is Lex. So I'm going to talk about some of the definitions of Lex as I build this bot. So you all can build this with me and then you can understand some of the nuances of what Lex does and how it works. So of course that create button is the great thing. We're not going to use any of these samples. Try a sample. You see there's an order flowers there. There's a book trip. There's a schedule appointment. If you've never done this before, obviously we're going to walk through it now. But those are great samples and tutorials where they actually build and set up the bot for you. And then you can see how it looks, how it works. Book a trip is really good because it used 2 different intents. So you can see how you can switch between intents. And you know what? On a later episode, let's do that. Hey, I mean, you can try it too, but that just sounds like a good thing. I'm going to add it. We're going to do a custom bot today. And even though it's going to emulate some of the things you get with the order flowers, we're going to take it a little bit further than what order flowers does. Because again, we're building our own bot. The first thing you need to know is you need to name the bot. And the bot is going to be what it's called. And you saw, if you looked at my episode on last week, that I have in my code, in my ASP.NET Core MVC application, I have in code some configs that says bot name, what the region is, etc. Now, what's that reason why that's important is because as we build this bot today, I'm going to give it a different name. And then I can just switch those 3 variables out and I can have this bot running in my ASP web application. So pay attention to your name. You're going to use it in your ASP.NET Core application that you build with us later on. So this is important. Since I have an order flowers, let's do, I don't know, Twitch order flowers. Because I can't think of anything else. All right. The language here is going to be English. Now, we're going to do things with voice as well. So when we get to those later episodes, we're going to actually show how in the web you can actually talk to your bot. And we want it to have some kind of output voice. And you can choose that here. So we have, let's see, there's Sally. There's Matthew. And you can also say none if this is just a text-based bot. You know, that's up to you, but hey, we want to.
Hello, my name is Kendra.
So hopefully you heard her voice. And of course, there's different voices out here that you can choose. Sally.
Hello, my name is Sally.
Her name is Sally. And you can type to see based upon what you think it is going to say, how it will sound. So if I type order flowers.
Order flowers.
You can hear that now. Sally, since I don't feel like searching through again, you're going to be it for today. No, I think the samples use Sally. No, I have to be different. We're not using Sally. Sally, sorry, you're kicked off the island.
Order flowers.
Kimberly, you're going to be our girl today. So, then you want to pick a session timeout. How long do you want to wait with no activity till you say, I'm done? They're going to have to start over. I'm just going to say 2 minutes here because, I mean, how long do they need to wait to figure out this flowers thing, right? So we're going to just do the 2 minutes. You need to have an IM role. Now, if you're in the console, this will be created for you. If you're not in the console, you're going to have to create this yourself. Once I hit create here, I'm going to go to the CLI and kind of show you how you would do that otherwise. But if you do this one time, it's going to be there for you for supplemental bots that you create. So it's going to create it on your behalf in the console. And you can see here, it gives you the name of that role. Now, I'm not going to do anything with children with this bot. So if this bot, you can make bots specifically for children, which is great. And you should go out there and look at a blog that a guy was great. He did a bot for his child who had some health issues, and this was going to help them. And it was really a phenomenal experience to read about. So go out there and check that out. But I'm not going to do this bot. I don't know if you guys will. This is your choice, but just kind of let you know, there's some rules about building things for children. If you build any apps mobile, you probably know this. This is no exception. So the Children's Online Privacy Act says to us that, okay, if this tool is subject to be used by a child, you have to say yes or no, and some other questions will be asked. Here, we're not going to do that. So simple no is going to suffice. And I'm going to say create. Now, this is where you get started with the bot. And what I like the way, if you look at this, it really kind of explains to you certain things about building a bot with Lex. The challenge is, I don't think any of you guys read it. Am I wrong? I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think you guys read it. So I'm going to go through it really quickly as we build this because you all didn't read this. So an intent. Now, I talked about the fact that you can have multiple intents in a bot, but we're just going to create one. But let's talk about what an intent is. An intent really is a summary of what your bot, this section of your bot will say will do. So if I want to do the order flowers, let's say I want to order flowers, that's great. But a part of ordering flowers, maybe I'm making a Valentine's Day bot, I don't know. I'm also ordering chocolates. And that may be a different vendor, a different process, different types of chocolate. So you might want to have a Valentine's Day bot, for instance, and you can take this intent that we're making for order flowers, just as it is, and add it to another bot. Let's say I had, instead of the Twitch Twitch order flowers bot, I had the Valentine's Day bot. And I can take this intent that I've already built for this bot, since it can be repurposed, and have that intent go into my Valentine's Day bot, and then create another one for my chocolate one. So the intent here is what the goal of this part of your bot, or this bot. What is the goal of it? What are you going to do with it? What do you want to achieve? All right. The utterances are what you're going to do to start the bot, to start interacting with the bot. Sometimes people, I think, get utterances and prompts mixed up. But the utterances, what are you going to say to kick off this bot to start interacting with you, for it to ask questions, right? And if I scroll down here, you'll see slots and prompts and fulfillment. Now, the slot is what information do I want to get from the person that's using my bot. And I will then save that in what we call the slot. So for flowers, I want to get the flower type that they're choosing, or I want to get the time that they're choosing. And there are built-in slots. What's great about slots is not only are there built-in ones, you can make your own slot, which we're going to do with flower type in a minute. And then you say, what do you want to say to get this information? That's what the prompt is. So utterances is what you want to do to start the bot. A prompt is what you're going to do to get the information that you need to store in your slot. And then fulfillment is, what is the logic that needs to happen to fulfill this correctly? Okay, so you got it. You know, you guys didn't read that. So I wanted to take the time to do so. Now let's create our intent. Now you can, I kind of told you this already, but this is a great way to see this. You can create an intent, or you would import. Why can't I talk today? You can import an intent. So I can search for my order flowers intent that I already have. Not going to do that. We're doing this from scratch. So I'm going to create an intent here. Instead of importing one in, this is something else. And we're going to do this also in later episodes. So stay with me. We're going to do a lot of stuff. I don't know if you guys knew that you can export this bot, its intents, its slots, etc., to Alexa. Oops. Alexa, stop. She didn't come on. Good. Okay. So I can export this to the name I cannot say right now because I have one of them in the room. I can export this and then have this bot running either on the web and in addition using the Echo device. Haha. Didn't have to say the other word. So I'm going to give this to say, again, flower order. We'll do it. That's what we'll do. Instead of order, flower order. Do it backwards. I'll click add. Now we're into the utterances. And that's great. But before I create my utterances, I should create a slot. And why am I creating a slot? Because I want to have this understand what types of flowers are acceptable. Now you can do this, of course. You can do some checks and things of your Lambda function. We are not going to have time to get into the Lambda function and build it. And we're going to build one. And it's going to be all in .NET using this great new tool, Visual Studio. But what today, I wanted to understand what is a valid type immediately. So when I test this bot, we have something functioning even before I fill in a Lambda code hook. So I'm going to create a slot type. Once again, you can import slot types between your bots. I'm going to create a new one here. And I'm going to name it flower types, flower type of flower. I feel like I've used that other one before, so we're going to say type of flower just because, I don't know, I'm doing it backwards. And now I want to give it a description. Not absolutely necessary to do this, but, you know, types of flowers I can have. And I can then restrict these slot values and synonyms. Now, this is something that's interesting. And I like this, actually. So I'm going to talk about it really quickly. I can say that someone can say roses. But what if, that's not really good. Let's do small. Small is a great way to use this as an example. Because I may say small, you may say little. Someone else may say minuscule. I mean, there are different ways to say small. So you want your bot, let's use some machine learning that they plugged into this great Lex system already. Let's use some of that and say, here are the synonyms that may be used for the word small. And then what's great about this, and just like the utterances, the more you put in there, the more that then it will use to be able to infer other words that maybe I didn't say. So I added little, minuscule, and maybe there's a minimal or something that will also relate to a synonym for small that you want your bot to pick up on. And so if I've added other words that are similar, then the machine learning power kicks in, and then guess what? It'll pick up other ones. It's really not a lot of way to say roses. So yeah, I'm not gonna put that for this one. But we're gonna do, okay, we'll add the roses. We'll add the lilies. These are the ones that are, you know, typical in there, but we're gonna add some more because this is our bot. We don't have to do what everyone else does. So we're gonna add violets. If I could type, which obviously I can't today. But that got in, hooray. What else? I wrote down some flowers. Oh, iris. Because, you know, I don't know all these flowers' names. Orchids. And let's see. Let's scroll so you can see all that I have put in here. So that you just don't think it went away. See, I have roses, lilies, tulips, violets, iris, orchids. I left out some. Oh, sunflower. I think that's all I had. Let me check. I wrote down names of flowers. And geranium, which I hopefully will spell this right. Let me make sure. Okay. I think that's enough. Don't you think so? That's a good amount of flowers. Roses, lily. Yeah. We've added some. Great. Oh, I should probably say geraniums. There you go. Okay. Now, I think this slot type is pretty good. The name of this slot type will be type of flower. We have roses, lilies, tulips, irises, violets. Okay, good going. Let's save that slot type. Great. Now that I have saved my slot type, I can then add this slot type into this bot. Oops, didn't want to do that. Did I not save it? I could have sworn I saved it. Is it me? I know I saved the slot type. We're going to hit refresh just in case something is acting a little screwy. I know I saved my slot type. I am not crazy. Well, most of the times I'm not. Let's see. Okay, let's try that again just in case. And I named this Twitch, right? Nope, I didn't save it. So I guess we will be doing that over. That sucks. Given how I have little time, I could have sworn I hit save. I know I hit save. You don't think Nikki is a real person? She's a real person. I work with her every day. She's a pretty cool real person too. Okay, let's say Twitch flower bot. Create. Am I really gonna have to write that over? That really sucks. Let's see how fast I can do this. Type of flower. I know what I did. I did not say add it to the intent. That was my fault. I clicked the wrong thing. Flowers that can be ordered. I gotta do this really fast. I said roses. I said tulips. I said violets. What happens? It's going too fast. Or am I just old? It's one of the two. Orchids. Lilies, roses, iris. Let's see. I got violet, sunflowers. Roses, lilies. Let's look. Make sure I did that really quickly. Roses, lilies, violets. Yeah. Oh, the geranium one. No wonder I leave that one out. That's the name for you. Okay. Got them all. Now add my slot to my type. No, add. There one in reference to the same slot value. Did I do it twice? Roses, irises, violets. Yes, I did. Typing too fast. Oh, that's a good catch though. That hey, don't put too many in the wrong place. Let's see. Let's try that again. Did I do another one? Type of flower already exists. I knew it created me. Now, put the S on it. There you go. Nah. Okay. Yes. Got type of flowers. So I want to name this slot type that what I will refer to it is as, and it's not going to be slot 1 because that kind of sucks. So instead of slot 1, we're going to name this flower type because that just sounds normal. And now that is going to be required. They're going to have to say, what kind of flower. What do I want this bot to say when they actually start it up and I need to ask for it? So I'm going to say what type of flower do you want to order? All right, that's good. We have a flower type. Yes, we're kicking. You guys have to be nice to Nikki on this chat thing. I can't make you be nice to her right now because we're virtual, but be nice to Nikki. She's helping me while I'm trying to feverishly finish this bot before our time is up. All right, so my sample order, my sample utterances. So I can say I want to order flowers, which is the longest thing in the world to say. If you tuned into the last episode, do you remember I said order flower and I didn't put the S on it and didn't get it? Well, you know what? I'm going to say here order flower. And I'm also going to put in here want to order flower as well as flowers. And the reason why I'm doing this is something you should really know about Lex is, again, it's using some of the great technology of deep learning. And what happens with deep learning? What makes AI and deep learning more effective? It's the more data it has. This is using those same principles. The more utterances I put in here, the more that the machine learning and the plumbing that Lex is using can infer, and this is great about this, can infer what you then want it to say. So I'm going to say, I want to order flowers, want to order flower. And anything that's in between that, any nuance of that, because if I put in enough of these, Lex will take advantage of, like I said, the deep learning technologies that it's built upon and infer other words that I can say or other utterances that I can say to kick this off. So I want to make sure that it realizes that order flower is also one. So in the other bot you saw that I had, everything said flowers. And when I typed order flower, it didn't quite catch that on. It was like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? Because nowhere in it did it have the opportunity to understand that flower was also something I wanted to say. So I'm going to add that one. Here's another thing. We have a slot type. We should use a slot type. What if I want to say, I want to order a specific flower? Or here's the great thing about this. I can actually type in, use your brackets, flower type, right? Hit enter. Now, if I did this right, and if you do this right, once you type in an utterance that has one of your slot types in, you'll see you get a lovely color there. It shows blue for this one. That's great. And so that way I know that I've done this right. Now, what else do I want with my bot? So they're going to tell me what kind of flower type, and that's great. Well, I need to also know what time they want to pick this up, right? It's probably good to know what time. So let's ask them that. Well, no, before I need to know what time, I probably need a day. Day is good. Let's try with day. So I say, pickup day is what I'm going to name this. And I have no clue what the sample one named it. So again, this is our bot. We're doing it our way. Now, I talked about slot types that you can create your own. We saw that we just created our own. And now the flower types that are relevant right now are the ones I put in there, which are about 6 or 7. Now, I can actually use a built-in slot type, and this is great. So if you drop down, you'll see that the slot types that I can choose either are the slot types that I have created. You see the type of flowers is a slot type I've created there. And I also can use any of these default slot types. So there's a bunch of them. Amazon Musician. Oh, I should make a bot for music. I love music. Okay. Anyway, Amazon Musician, Amazon Actor, day, week, time, service. I know you can't see that. I'm scrolling way too fast. You also can see some of the types that I created before. So I wanted it to immediately add this slot type to my editor and to this intent. But really, I didn't have to go back and do that if it got saved. And the reason why I didn't have to go back and do that is because I could have, you see that the original one that I put in here, it didn't just kind of go with my flow, but the original one I put in here is actually in there. So I could have just gone here to the slot types, added this slot, it'll put that over there, I will be ready to go. That wasn't within my flow, it wasn't cooperating, so I did the quick type. Anyway, let's go back to what we're doing here. I need a date. So I want to create, let's say I can do date or day of week. And this is what's great about this as well is you can specifically say, I wanted to say Monday, Tuesday, whatever, or I could say date. And date, which is also cool, will allow me to do things like say Monday, and it will say, oh, Monday is, what is Monday? Monday is the 13th or something coming up. Time is flying. And then here I can say, what day do you want to pick it up? So really, I should do day of week just because I'm asking them for what day. What day do you want, or what day do you, I don't know. Do you want to pick up your flowers? Tara, there you go. Want to pick up your order. We should say order just because question mark. There you go. I'm going to change this to day of week just because I said pick up date and then I'm going to say day. But then that's going to translate to a date, so that's fine. Either way, one, other, you're good. Actually, I'm going to change this one more time. Let me tell you why. Because I want you to see something cool that date does. I know, so indecisive, but we're doing this from scratch, so it doesn't matter. I'm going to do date because I want to show you that what's cool about date is if I say I want to pick it up Monday, it will understand that Monday means a specific date. And when I say Monday, it will do that translation for me. So I actually want you to see that. So I'm actually going to change that to date just so you can see that and change that back to date. So I'm going to add that slot type. Now, right now you'll see that pickup date is not required. But realistically, it needs to be. So I'm going to go ahead and check that box there. So it is absolutely going to be required. You're going to have to tell me a date. Sorry, I can't infer it. We're going to use that. The last slot I'm going to put down here. So we got a date. I do need a time. So pick up time. And let's see. There is, guess what? There is a time. So I have to scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll. And there's my time. And then, so did I select it? Yep, I did. Okay. So here I can go, let's get off of that. Here I can go, let's see, pick up time, because I'm not really creative with the names today. And then I can say, what time do you want to pick up? Well, again, being able to type is such a good skill. You would think that I would have it down by now. What did I say? What time? Okay, do you want to pick up your order? Okay, that sounds somewhat grammatically correct. My mom is not here listening. She has a doctorate in English, and trust me, growing up, that was a very big challenge. So she can't hear me, so we're good. Okay, so let's see. I have flower type, I have flower date, I have pickup time. I absolutely want all of those to be required. And then the last thing I'm going to quickly do here before we test, and 30 minutes goes really fast, is I'm going to make sure that I say, are you sure you want to order blah, 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 X, Y, and Z. And so I will say here, let's see, I don't know, please confirm, because I can't think of anything else, that you wish to order. And I can put my types in here as well. So flower type, and to see and I can say my pickup date. Data? No, that's right. And then I can put my time. I think I named it that. Okay, so just to make sure, please confirm that you wish to order flower type on pickup date at pickup time. And I want to give them 3 tries to say yes or no. I'll just leave that default. What if the user says no? Right? They could say no. What do I want to say? And you know what? This default one is great. Okay. Your order has been canceled. Oh gosh, Sarah. Let's be nice. I look forward to working with you next time. Hooray. Okay, great. All right. Now we have a confirmation order. Now we're going to get to the Lambda function, but for this first one, we are just going to return the parameters to the client, and you'll see how this works when it's test. I can enable a response card, and I can add a message here. And I really want to, when you're doing this is the way to close out the intent, or to the point invoke another one. So for instance, let's say instead of just ordering flowers, we were doing the book trip one. Oh, congratulations, I booked your hotel. Would you like to book a car? And I could say that, and then, or give them options. Would you like to book a car? Would you like to reserve your restaurant? I don't know, whatever you're going to do in your trip. And I can actually create a response card, just like I could create a response card for my prompts. I can wait for the user to say no or yes and things of that nature. So let's just add a message here, and the message can be presented at random or whatever you want to say. So I can say, thanks. Your order has been placed. If I put a bunch of them, like I said, it'll do it at random. I'm not gonna put a bunch of them because we're all done. You can also, by the way, preview how this will be how this would sound and everything else. So this is how it's going to look when it comes across. Thanks, your order has been placed. I'm going to exit preview. Now let's save this bad boy here. All right. I can put other slots in there, but for the time being, because we're pushed up against time, I think we have a good thing. I can also wait for the user to reply. We're totally not going to do that. I already confirmed with them that I want it. Now I'm going to build this. You can start testing once the bot has completed. I always feel like they're saying that to me. While we're waiting for it to go down its path, any questions out there in Twitch land? We're selling Twitch names now? Wow, no. Um, yes, Nikki is cool. Why do you specify plural versus singular in the flower name? Is it preferred? Can you specify both? Yes, I can. You can name your slot name absolutely unequivocally what you want. But usually when people refer to flowers, it's usually, a bunch. I'm ordering flowers, plural. But again, my mom's not here, so I don't have to endure the English lesson of her telling me what would be grammatically correct here. So you can name your slot types any way you absolutely want. It's cool to do that, so it's fine. Tara, which is your Twitter so I can follow you? It's at TARAW. Oh, thank you, Nikki. See, she is so fast. And no, she is not a bot. She's actually a real person. You know what? I've been making you guys wait. I didn't click the bill button. Duh. Again, the snaps just did not fire today. I think it's when I got nervous, when I thought about my mom watching and her going, "Oh, Tara, that's not grammatically correct. I taught you better than that." So I think I got freaked out a little bit. No worries. So now it actually is building. Any more questions? It is a bot. She is not at all. All of us have worked with Nikki and she rocks. So no. She and oh, I will have to put you on spot. I did click build. See? You thought I didn't. Yeah, it is building. See? I clicked build. Thought I forgot. Um what was I going to ask? Okay, so we're building. But before I go into this, Nikki is responsible to making sure that you guys have a great developer experience, especially those of you all who are really into .NET. So ping her, talk to her, tweet her. Nikki, yes, I'm putting you on the spot, but hey, we're friends. So, make sure you do that. Is there a way to keep a bot's functionality and version control like code commit? Great question. I'm actually we're over time, but I'm going to quickly switch to my command line after I test this and show you how you can use build. You can use like JSON files and other things, build it from the command line, and then you can save all of this in code commit in your version. Here's another thing, by the way, that I didn't mention, and I would be remiss. But once I say this, I'll show you. The bots actually, when you see latest there, this screen, you see this latest right here, right next to the bot. As I create and do different bots here, it will actually tell me what version this is. And so you can alias your bots, but also determine whether or not you want certain versions to be functional or certain versions to be exported or whatever you want to do. Here I only have one because I'm doing latest, but if you look at the screen here, you can actually do version and aliasing with your bots inside of actual Lex. And I'll show you another one like the order flower one that I've been playing with the ASP.NET. You'll see it has like 13 different versions. And I can say let it do the default one and do latest, or I can alias one of these. Like for instance, this alias for this is testbot. So let's go order flower, and you can see my bot is actually working. It's saying what type of flower do you want to order. Now when Lex first came out, it didn't have this, and it has this now, and I absolutely love it. You can actually inspect the response, and when we get to to the part where we're going to actually build the Lambda function for this is going to be totally important, because as you receive this data back that your slots are going to be elicited that way, you're going to want to be able to take that information in Lambda and morph it to be what you want it to be. So here I can see what will get sent back is that right now these slots, none of them have any values. They're coming across as nulls. There are 3 slot values that must be required for this bot to go into fulfillment. At this point, the dialog state, which again will be very important when we get to Lambda, is that it needs to elicit a slot, which is why you see the prompt come up. It's eliciting that first slot type. Here's another thing you should know. If I had said I want to order flowers and I said I want to order, instead of flowers, I said I want to order roses, then immediately, because I had that slot type in there, it would know to fill flower type in with the value of roses. And so the next prompt, instead of saying what type of flower do you want to order, would have been the next one that needs to be fulfilled that is required for this bot to work. All right, so it says, what kind of flower do I want to order? I said, right now I'm not doing any checking because we didn't put the thing in there, but I say tulips. And it says, what day you want to pick up your order? I'm going to say Monday. And it's going to say, what time do you want to pick up your order? Wait, before I go to that, notice I put tulips in. It fulfilled this slot. I'm still in the dialog state of elicit slot. Move my video order to the lower. What? You can't see my, thank you, Nikki. She told me you can't see my inspect response. No worries. So let me switch this. Give me 1 second. Let me get me out the way real quick. Haha, now you can see it. I'm not in the way anymore. There we go. Okay, back to the subject at hand. If you see this response at this point, I have elicited slots for the flower type, there are tulips, and the pickup date. And I said Monday. So just so you can see right here, I said Monday, proof that I said Monday. I didn't see a date, which is why I wanted to show you how cool this built-in slot type is. It knew by me saying Monday, well, Monday is upcoming, today is Wednesday, that is the 12th. I was right, on the 18th. And so it will put the actual date in. Now, I could have said day in the week and it would have put the day of the week, but I wanted to show you how cool it is that you don't have to put that logic into your bot. Totally exceptional for me. Now, I don't have any parameters about what time right now, so I can really say anytime. So like I could say I want to pick it up, at 11 o'clock p.m. By the way, since I use this default slot type of time, it requires a PM or AM. And let me show you. If I say 11, it's going to repeat because it doesn't understand that. If I say 11 p.m., it has it. And it says, okay, I confirm you when you wish to order your flowers on blah, 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 blah. Like I said, that was what I put in the tulips on or whatever. So I said yes. And thanks, your order been placed. And we have just built our bot that we can use. At this point, you see that everything I put in there, please confirm you wish to order your flowers. If I had said no, it would have been placed. One more thing, this has finished, but I want to show you what happens with the slot when I actually put in something. So I said I want to order violets. Notice it did not go back to what type of flower you want to order. And if you see down here in the elicit response, I said I want to order flowers. I have an utterance that is a sample utterance of what you might say. And if I say I want to order flower type, and it relates to one of the flower types that I put in, pretty much that's just an enumeration that I've put in there, it immediately knows to fill that slot type with what I said. And here it is, flower type violets. It doesn't repeat that to you because that would be dumb. And then it asks me what day I want to pick it up. And again, I can say Tuesday, or I can put in a date. And then 5, it's not going to like that. So 5 p.m. and I'm good. And I can say 5:30 p.m. or whatever, but just make sure you put the p.m. and a.m. in there. At this point, we are 11 minutes over, so I appreciate it. We try to keep this around 30 minutes because it is supposed to be bites, and we want to be mindful of your time. And so I am pretty much done. However, there are 2 more things I want to show you. So if you indulge me for 3 more minutes, just something that really cool that I want to show you. And we're going to use this exact bot, not going to change a thing, to do this for our other things, for our rest of our episodes. So the thing I wanted to show you that was really cool was the fact that with these, I can actually change this. Did I just take that out? I totally did. Duh, dummy. I'll just put it back in real quick. What is really cool about this is I can take these. Let me scroll down. And for these, I can create what they call response cards, right? And the response card, let me just bring this up because I'll just do it all at one time. Scroll this up. Oh, wait. What type of flowers? Okay, let me add. There we go. Now we're back. Great. Okay, so let me not hit the delete this time. Here are the flower prompts. I just had what type of flowers do you want to order, blah, blah, blah. Number of retries. I'm only going to let you get through this twice. I can have corresponding utterances, like what else may, what they may not, what will they say, what is possible that they would say. So here I, what, whatever. I want to order, I could just be verbose. I want to order violets, which hopefully you won't do. That notwithstanding, let's say I want to create a response card. And I think these are really nice, especially if you're working in stuff like Facebook. So the first thing you want to do with your response card is do a URL. So I'm going to switch really quickly, really quickly over to my desktop. All right. So in my desktop over here, I'm, as you can see, on the command line. Let's blow that up. Better. There we go. Okay, so I'm on the command line. And what you can do is take a picture and then put it in an S3 bucket and use that as your image. So I have one that I created. Let me get it really quickly. I think it's in my Twitch flower bucket. Let me make sure. Let's see, Twitch Let's Bot bucket. Okay. So in my Twitch Let's Bot bucket, I have a flowers bot picture. I'm just gonna make sure I put that up there. Okay, so now I have that picture that's now in my Lex bot that I can use for the response card. One more thing I want to show you before I get off my, let me clear this out. Before I get off of my command line, if you are building this Lex from the command line, which you absolutely can do, the first thing you would do is create the IAM role. Now, I know that I have created this already from the console, but you can do this if you haven't created it from the console, you can do so. So if you want to test if this is created for you, you can just do IAM get role, and then you can say the role name just to make sure it's there. I think I'm typing this right. I'm not sure if that has a dash. We'll see in a minute. Service role. I think it's for Lex spots. We'll see in a minute if I'm right or wrong. Okay, good. Well, that was quick. I did it the first time. That was cool. Okay. So if this comes back, I absolutely have this IAM role for it. If I do not, then I would actually create the IAM role for it. If I was going to create a slot type, then I would just use, I would use AWS Lex and create a slot. So I could do all of this in the command line. And because I asked only for 3 minutes, I won't go through that. I'll actually just paste this in the repo. But again, if you were doing this from scratch, you could actually put this in the command line. Last thing, the response cards. So let me go back out to my browser. I'm going to just click another one really quickly. Go to S3. I can make that flower picture public and use that as my card. But I'll do that later because, again, so out of time. But just know you can put an image there. Now here I will put a title of what I want them to say. So I'll say your flower choice. Oh, really, Tara? So horrible. Pick the flower to be ordered. Ordered? Really? The floor? I'm really batting 1,000 here. I cannot type. There you go. To be ordered. My first button title, let me scroll down, can be, I'm not going to do all of them. Roses. And then you see here, let me scroll down here all the way, that I can then choose which one this is. So that would be roses. And then I could say violets. And then choose violets. And you get the gist of it. I'll do one more just so it'll look pretty. Tulips. And then scroll down here and find tulips wherever I had it. Did I add tulips? No. Maybe I didn't. We're just going to do iris. Because I Okay. So I'm going to say save. You'll notice that I'm previewing this, by the way. Let me go back. You notice that I'm previewing this in Facebook. So you can say how you want to preview this as. So this is being previewed in Facebook. So I can preview this of how it would look in Facebook, how it would look in Slack or Twilio or Kick. You can actually preview how this would look in there. Okay. Now that we had that, let me run. I'm going to build this one more time and then I am going to publish it. So you see now that I have a response card here that's looked this way. I'm going to go ahead and hit save. Now, if I build this, hit build this time and not just talk about hitting build, that was just not smart. Wait for it to build and I will look at your questions while it's doing it. She will go. So slow. Okay, so while we're waiting, questions. Why are there 3 browsers running? I'm on my laptop and I always have 3 browsers running. I don't know why. Right now I have the console running in Firefox and I just always do. Like if you look at the other ones, it's like me looking up new frameworks for AI. So it's just, I always have 3 browsers running. I don't know. I just do. Uh, Thank you, Tombot, to say take my time. You have time. Some people don't probably have time, so I know I'm behind and I'm delinquent. Okay, we've built this. Let's do this again. Order flour. Something is wrong. Something is amiss. It's asking me. Oh, no, it's not. What day do I want to pick it up? It's just random which ones. What time do I want to pick it up? Hopefully you can see my screen still. I want to pick it up on, I don't know, 1 p.m. Invalid packet. No usable message given the slot. And so I did something wrong for my pickup time. Let's see. What did I do? Something I did wrong. Let me look at my flower type. Oh, first of all, I know why that didn't work. Dummy Smurf didn't hit require. Let me rebuild. This is what happens when you are Russian. You do dumb, silly, foolish things. Let's try that one more time. Okay, so I can answer any questions because I'm way over now. I mean, you guys have been totally indulgent. And I will put all of this out there on the, yes, just personal preference. It's like squirrel for me. I go from one thing to the other and I'm trying to get it all in. So yeah. Let's see. You go demo in Firefox. Any more? The 3 browsers there. You all were really concerned about my browsers. Okay, can you send a live example of the Lexbot on the website? So hopefully Nikki sent you. Yeah, she sent you that link of this bot running. It's not this exact one. It's the one I created before. Oh, one more thing. You see now that I have built this 3 times. I have 3 versions of this running. And you can determine which version you actually want to run. So I want to run latest, but then I'll show you how we can run the other one. So let's try this again now that I actually have my flour stuff done. Order flour. What day? Did I still not say that? Yeah, it says that I have it. We'll see what's going on there. Order flour. What day? Monday. Oh, I know why. Because I put it at the end. I need to bring it up. What time, Tara? Speaking. Thinking. Functioning. What type of flowers? Let me scroll this over a little bit just because you guys can't see it all. Yes, that works, but it is not showing me my response card, which is interesting. You know why? Because the flower type I'm using is not latest. Should have said this too, and then I am done. So when you have these, I altered the type of flower types, right? I had the first one that I used, and then I had the second one where I actually have the, the slot type. You can determine which version of this too. I don't know why I didn't remember to say this. So I was like, okay, why is it still giving me the same one? Because it's using the first one. It's not using the latest one. I can have one that has a response card to it here for my slot type. So you can have versions of your slot types, and you can have one that's the default. And when you saw that I ran this before, because I was not looking, paying attention, I had the first version 1 versus the latest. The last thing I am saying, because I'm way over time, is this flower bot is using the latest. I could go back to the third one that didn't have that slot type and it would have required, so that would error. Or I could go to the first one where we had things a certain way. So I can use any of these versions. This will version for you. And also you have error handling here. What I will do is I am going to publish all of this out here so you guys can, see it. And then we will go from there. And so I will make sure we publish the GitHub repo out in this recording. All right, guys, thank you so much. I'm way over time. I really appreciate it. So if you have any more questions, I'll hang out for about 5 minutes. I'll keep my stream streaming so you guys can see as I play around if you ask me questions. But let me know. We're way over time. So again, I'm going to be here for 5 more minutes and you guys can ask me questions. We're going to use this bot, by the way, to when we go to the next step, when we build our Lambda function, it will absolutely be in .NET. And I also will have all of the CLI out there as well. All right. Just waiting for you to answer the questions. Let's see. What are you guys out here saying? Eric, I wish I could go all day. That would be fun. But yeah. How is it combined with the web app? Rohan, we're going to combine this with the web app in the next 2 episodes. I need to build the Lambda function so I can get the functionality of getting it to validate whether you said the right thing and also what the cost will be associated. And then I'm going to take that and put it in the web. So the code out there is already out there. If you want to see the code before I get to it, it's actually already out there on the repo. If you go to, let me give it to you. It's on our GitHub, AWS Labs. If you want to look at the code, I'm going to change the code just slightly for this session. But if you want to go out there and look at the code that I built already, that I'm putting this in the lab, it just has a bunch of classes. I absolutely can do that. Let me just send you this link to give it to you. All right. I'm going to post this link into chat. There you go. So that's the code that yay. I'm glad you're happy. That's the code that I already have. We're going to change this code just a little bit because we're going to actually use that latest response cards that I just did. I didn't do that in my first one. And then I'm going to change it where it will dynamically load the response cards in the web. So that'll be a little different than the code you see out there, but the base is the same. Uses dependency injection to be able to take that config file and I can give it a name and an alias and a region and it will dynamically load whatever bot is out there. All you would have to do with this code, really, if you wanted to do your own bot today, based upon what we went through, all you would have to do is change that configuration. Now, we haven't gone through Cognito yet, but if you're already finished with Cognito and you want to be off to the races, go for it. You would need to create your Cognito federated identity pool. And then once you do that, you're off to the races. So you can, it's up to you how you want to roll that out. But that's the only other thing that's in that config file that you would need. And it will dynamically get your token from Cognito and then go from there. More questions? You got me for 3 more minutes, guys. Any more questions? So that's the code that's out there. Like I said, we're going to build what you building. So if you go out and look at the links that Nikki posted and I posted, you'll see that we're going to build an ASP.NET chatbot. That bot that we just built using the Lex backend, we're going to plug that into .NET Core and run that in ASP.NET Web ASP.NET Core Web. Let's slow that down. And we're going to deploy that using the CI/CD pipeline with some of the AWS developer tools. So we got a ways to go, but we're going to be here every week knocking this out. If you, like I said, feel free if you want to go ahead of me and check out some of the code I've already written for this Lex Chatbot. That's totally cool. We're going to do, because we're doing this from scratch, it's pretty much I'm just going to do whatever comes up. Is having a backend language you recommended for the chatbot? I'm thinking about the talks to Lambda without a debt. Absolutely. So here's the cool thing about this. Once you establish your Lex chatbot, you're good. You can do it in whatever language you want to. I just happen to do it .NET because we already have code out there for JavaScript. And I wanted to, give some love to my .NET developers that don't see that we love them as much as we do. I love them. I'm language agnostic, and I think C# is great. Just like I think Java or JavaScript or any other language is great. I love C and C++. So I wanted to just go out, do this for just a different view, a different language, but you absolutely can use whatever language you want to. .NET is the one we're using today, but you can see code out there that absolutely uses Node. If you check out Randall, he loves Python. I always clown him about it. He is a Python master. I say he loves Python. You could do it. Oh, I answered your question too? Good. Yeah, you can do it whatever language you want to. I'm just doing it in .NET because, hey, .NET Core 2 is out. We don't have a lot of samples out of it. You can absolutely everything. Any other questions for me? You guys got me for one more minute. Hey, whatever. Hey, I love learning. So if you have a question, if I can answer, if I can help you, please ping me, tweet me. I'm all about it. So let me know what you guys want me to do here. Any other questions out there? Guys, my time is waning down. Goodbye, so long. It's time to say adieu. Okay. Well, thank you. Seriously, thank you for tuning in. We're going to be here every week. Tech Bytes, about 30 or 45 minutes since we went over today. It's not quite 30 minutes, but yes, anything you want us to do here, please tweet me, put it on the chat. We can alter this to be what you want, but I'm going to be here every week until we finish this app. And hopefully if you're doing this along with me, you'll finish this app and could think of different other things to do with it and get into bots. Bots are cool. All right, guys, talk to you soon. See you later.